while I'm getting ready. I'm actually halfway through. Short side story. Nope. Give you some recommendations of things I've read in the last, excuse me, burp. So this week I thought we'd get back into some book recommendations. So y'all know I read a lot. I highly recommend continually growing yourself by reading. And it doesn't have to be all nonfiction. It can be, some fiction. Throw some fiction in there. Don't just be all business and no play. So I have I have 3 books for you today. And 2 of them, I'm not sure if they're fiction or nonfiction. Probably should have looked that up before I turned the camera on. But I didn't, so let's move on. The first one is one that even my husband loved. My husband does not like to read. He is okay with listening to the audibles, going to work and coming back from work because he has a lot longer drive than I do. But he's enjoying learning new things while he's driving. But it's not like his favorite thing in the world to do. So for him to read a book twice, which he did with this one, is something to take notice of. So it is called The Richest Man in Babylon, and it is by George S. Clason, Clason. Okay? So you can find this on Amazon in Audible form or regular book form. So I think it's an older book. Now, I don't know if this is fiction or nonfiction. The premise of it is you start in current times, and these people find clay tablets, and they develop the story for The Richest Man in Babylon off of this information on these clay tablets. So it sounds nonfiction, I know it does, but it has some really, really good sound principles of how to build your savings and make yourself not independently wealthy, but successful, and how to set yourself up successfully. So let me break it down for you really easily. But I still recommend you to listen or to read this book because it's just got some really good principles in it about life, about decisions that you make with your money, about how to get yourself out of situations, about how to be content in the situation that you're in. Several of the stories are from former slaves who got worked themselves out of their slavery, and just some of the decisions that they made while taking their money and investing it. So basically this premise is when you get a paycheck, no matter how big or how small, $5, $5,000, you take 10% right off the top and you put it into a savings account. And when it gets big enough, then you invest it. So you double that money or triple that money, or, even just make 20% every time that you are investing it. It has to be a wise investment, obviously. So anyway, it's just a really, really good book, and my husband loved it so much, he read it twice. So my second book is nonfiction. This one I know for sure, and it is 41 Will Come from Chuck E. is his middle initial, Tate. Chucky Tate. That is a silly name. Anyway, this one is about a pastor, and it's kind of like 41 Will Come. It was an old sermon he kind of threw together because he was fascinated about David and Goliath. How for 40 days, which is a big number in the Bible, for 40 days Goliath taunted the Israelites. And then on the 41st day, David's like, and, gathers all his stuff and goes out and faces Goliath and ends up defeating him. So basically, this whole book is talking about the day after you get over the hump of whatever you're striving for, getting towards, working towards, or, that you're in the middle of right now. And it's developed over his whole life as a pastor that everyone's coming to him like, David, I've got my day 41 finally came. My day 41 finally came. Some of these stories actually has been exactly 40 days, which is a little freaky. So anyway, that's a really, really good one. And then the last one, okay, this one I also don't know if it's fiction or nonfiction. It's called Rules for a Night. K-N-I-G-H-T, Night. It is written by Ethan Hawke. The actor, I actually had to look that up because I was like, no, I know it sounds like Ethan Hawke, but it's not really Ethan Hawke. It really was. It was really Ethan Hawke. So the premise of this is Ethan Hawke's family is actually a long line of knights. Back when they had knights, obviously. So the story in here is based off of some letters that they found. And this knight, great-great-great-grandfather or whatever, was writing to his children back at home because he thought he was going to die in this next battle. I don't think they even told us if he did or not. I don't remember. But anyway, these principles, he kind of like writes the new rules of knighthood out and what he's learned through his years and years as a knight. From old knights, from, fellow knights, situations he's gone through, just, knight things like dignity, honor, keeping your word. Just, it was really good. And it was really good principles to live by daily. So anyway, that is what I am listening to right now, and I hope these are some good recommendations for you that you can check out. And don't forget, you are 100% perfect the way you are right now. But you were never meant to stay that way. So let's keep learning and keep growing together. We'll see you next week. Bye.